Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Oh, I am alive.
Wow,
How about you?
I am also alive.
That's good. Looks like you're working on some pages.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I know it's very original of me, isn't it?
Well, you know,
Uh-huh.
gotta do something. You do have to get them done, to be fair.
This is true. It's not like they're going to draw themselves.
That's true, they're not.
I'm not just typing this into a computer asking some machine to create it randomly for me.
Oh my gosh. My husband was doing that with raps. Like having Chat GPT write songs for him, rap songs.
That's funny.
I was
How
like,
was
can
that?
you not? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Was there some good ones? Yeah, absolutely. Was it a little bit annoying? Yes.
Rad Young and someone saying, "Hey,
What
fellas,
up?
how's it going?" You got your little one strapped to you?
I actually don't. She's being watched by the other human beings who are her family. I am. You know what? I'd like to not have her. It does give me a little bit of um I don't have the same mobility. So,
Hey, Rad Young, does your screen look funny? Someone saying that it's looking a little off on his. It looks fine on my end.
yeah, looks okay to me, but okay, Rob, what have you done?
I
You've
done.
stolen the entire screen? Is
All
that
right,
really how it is now?
I'll show you. I'll teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like the as I was logging in to get started on this, some of the options were a little bit different. It's like uh had changed a little bit, like that maybe YouTube had done an update or something like that, and is a little bit different.
Interesting. Well, hopefully it's not like it's gonna be too crazy.
It's funny because it looks normal on mine. I don't know how to see. What do you mean by it's perfectly square, Mark? I mean,
Oh, let me see if I can see it because I'm watching.
yeah.
Um, I mean, maybe it is a little bit smaller than it used to be. It is, they're right. But it's still proportionate. It's just that it's smaller than it was before, like each side. Instead of it being when you watch a YouTube video, you know how if you watch it on like a computer, it will come up and it'll be more like a rectangle shape and then it'll be split down the middle. This is like a square split down the middle. Yeah, instead of widescreen, like he's saying, which is interesting.
I don't know. I can't tell any difference from what I'm looking at. All I see is it looks the same. Like I've got like a square, and then it's just split straight down the middle, dividing us up in kind of equal measures. I wonder if I pull it up on my other thing here. This will work.
Hmm.
See, here's my other phone. And this is what it's showing me. Is that?
Yeah, I think it's still though. I think they're right. I think see that's how that's a perfect square. I think it's changed. It might have just changed in the app then. Cuz if you look on I'm watching on a PC cuz I'm watching on my laptop and it's showing that it shows the rectangle but it's showing only the picture in the square shape. Yeah. Oh, on the one side?
Yeah, but that's what I'm showing you there is what I see, and that's kind of normal. I don't know how to.
Here, I'll show you what I'm seeing. Don't look too much at my reference here. Um That's how it's showing up on mine. But see, this space right here used to be filled up and this space. But especially this space, I think they're right. I think it's just changed. I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe, I don't know. It does almost look like there's supposed to be a third streamer or something.
I don't know, everybody. We could shut it down and try and re-upload. You know what I mean? Try and start from fresh. Really distracting.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously doesn't bother me any.
Hey, Dan Goodwin. We're just trying. There, the other guys are saying that's kind of coming across as a little bit different. We're trying to see if we can't figure out the visuals of it so it looks not goofy. You guys let me know. I mean, I could just shut it down real quick and just restart and see if I missed a step or something like that. And see if there's something. I don't know. It's all these weird things that can always go wrong. And it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, same. Mark says it doesn't really bother him.
Uh,
Oh, whoops. I'm trying to see if I can like fix it to where you can still see things. I don't know. I don't know. I also feel like because of the angle I've got it at, makes it look like my art is very like she's shorter than she is. Oh well. Oh, guess just keep going with it.
all right. What is it that you're drawing today?
I'm actually working on this pin up for your.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the theme for this week was actually the it was like movie poster ideas for a movie you wish would have been made. And I had an idea for it, but this week has been honestly it's been shit, truthfully. So I have not got to it getting the actual layout done, and because it was a movie poster, I wanted to have all that done before I put it up on the and did the live with it, I guess.
Right.
Cuz I thought, well, it's going to be quite the piece. But so I didn't get that done.
Yeah.
So now I'm working on this instead.
Mr. Green says it looks normal to him on his phone. So that's, I don't know. These settings are difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you've had a rough week.
Oh, it's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just, I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of had a bunch of random stuff and shit happen the last little bit.
No.
Maybe I could ask, does anybody still, okay, keep in mind I'm in my, nearly mid 30s here. Does anybody still get in big like fights or anything with their parents? Does that happen to you?
Doesn't happen with me. You know, um, not in like fights or anything like that. When I went through my divorce, there was a lot of I don't know, things weren't going well because I think my family was handling things the wrong way. I
Mm.
I didn't I kind of I didn't talk to my parents or my dad for like a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it wasn't like I was a fight.
That's fair.
Yeah. It was just a whole big long stretch of unpleasantness that I did not like. But
Yeah.
to be honest, no one was having a good time.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I obviously don't know exactly what that's like, but I know a little bit of what that's like.
Yeah.
Not to the extent that you do, but I don't know. Got in a big old fight with my mom yesterday, and I was like, kind of done.
That's got to be rough. I mean, you're a grown ass human being, and obviously, obviously, clearly, I don't know anything about what was going on, but the only way I could imagine if I were to get into a fight with my parents at this point in my life is if they were trying to tell me something about my life or my existence. None of their damn business. And after everything I'd gone through, this sounds terrible, but like I kind of discovered I don't need anybody. I don't. I can cut them out of my life if I had to, if they're not gonna, you know, be the kind of the supportive people that I need. And if it's just gonna be nothing but struggle, I learned that I can get along just fine without them. I don't want that, but it's like, yeah, I don't need you. So if you guys want me in your life, we can work it this way. If you want to ever see my kids again, we can do it this way. But unfortunately, that's never come up before the shit I was going through my divorce or since. You know what I mean? It was just one during that one little shit period of my life. But I was like, yeah, I don't need any of this. You know, I don't know. I don't want
That's
to go that way, but it could, and I know that I could be completely fine. You know, if I had to remove my life.
that's interesting. Yeah, um that I get what you're saying though. I never want to feel that way either. I definitely do though. And sometimes I feel like it might be better for me. I don't know. Mr. Green says wife's parents maybe. Haha. Yeah, yeah. Um Mark says I did a few times in my 30s. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, and to be honest, this argument I got with my mom um was actually about her. and her family and her siblings, and you know, I don't know. It's just difficult to feel like you're more mature than your parents,
Yeah.
and that is honestly how I felt. It's I don't know. I don't know. I also really struggle because part of it had to do with religion, and I struggle with some of the idealism and judgment behind. I am religious, but I also kind of have my own way of doing things, and I feel like if anybody does anything differently, well, they're going to hell in my family.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing was it's very odd. Like I haven't had any issues like that in a very, very long time. And I just was like, what is going on?
Yeah. Well, something my youngest sister kind of she she had had some things going on in her personal life, and it has nothing to do with her parents but some other family members, and she's like, you know what, the only thing that matters to me is like, she's like, my husband and my kids and how we go about our lives, and I don't need anybody else getting in our way. And she's like, I need my own peace of mind, and if you're not going to contribute to that, then you don't need to be in my life. Go off and be what you want to be, but you're not going to hear from me, because she's like, me and my husband and our happiness and our kids, that's all, that's the only thing that matters. And I was like, yeah, I was the same way when I was married. Is like, all I needed in my life was my wife and my kids, and everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
you know so I imagine there's, you're the same way. Your husband, your kids, this is your life, and you don't need anybody else like making your existence more difficult. So you're like, all right, go think what you want, go be what you want, but I'm going to be over here with my husband and my kids, and we're going to be happy, and I don't need to hear anymore.
You're right. That's a good point. I think I let things get to me that I shouldn't.
I mean, it is your
And
parents, it's not like it's nobody, but you know,
no,
still.
but you're right. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't definitely doesn't need to be. They want to act a certain way, then yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. It's not fun either way. Like, I don't headache, you know.
It's true. It's true. How was your night out?
It was good
Was it
times.
fun?
Yeah. Um, I posted up those pictures. I think you
You
saw.
did.
I'm always kind of like, I don't want to go anywhere. But then once you get there, you're like, all right, this was fun. I can interact with human beings and be normal. And anytime three girls say, hey, you should come to the bar with us, I mean, you're kind of stupid if you say no.
True.
I mean, it's not like there was going to be anything. It was like, it's the roommate and a married woman and a gay girl. So it's not like, it's not like, hey, this is an adventure for me. I mean, it was, but not like we're all just friends. And but still, it was a fun time.
Yeah. That's awesome. It looked like a good time. Where'd you go?
There's just it's an about time pub and grill.
What? I used to work
I was,
there.
hey, I think, as you remember, you telling me you used to work at one of those, and it's pretty awesome. They had amazing food.
What'd you get?
It's like shrimp, chicken, and beef skewers that were freaking amazing.
Oh, okay.
Chuck's on here and he's like, "Ish, the heavy drama stream, right?"
Sorry. That was me.
Oh, we're processing feelings, and now our feelings are done.
Yeah, sorry. I know. Probably was not the most.
Hey, we're here to support each other. Some people would be like, "Yeah, fine, support each other separately. Let's talk drawing and art or something fun."
True. True. It's over now.
Right. Sorry, I let my feelings out. I'll put them away.
Yeah, true. I just, need to leave it all in the background, not on here.
But yeah, that was a fun get together, and one of my other guy friends who is kind of mutual friends with all those girls were like, next time you guys go, can I go? I'm like, fuck yeah. And then this other gal who we all mutually know was like, oh my God, it looks like so much fun. I'm like, next time you should totally come. She's like, oh my God, I can't wait. So now we're like planning the next get together with like more people. So now it's going to become a bigger thing. And you know what? That's fine.
There you go.
Get a big old party out of it all.
That makes it fun, right?
Let me tell you how frustrated I was with my stupid YouTube channel. I uploaded a stupid video last night, and this morning when I wake up, it's still processing. And then it was processing all damn day. It never finished. It just would not upload. I was getting really pissed off. So I come home and just had to delete it and re-uploaded it. Done in 20 minutes.
I wondered because I always log on here when I'm getting ready just because it takes a second for it to come up.
Yeah.
And so I saw that it said you just uploaded one. I was like, oh, he must be on in.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened. Well, I mean, I think that it just kind of the computer system just got glitched and stuck on itself and would not self-correct. And I couldn't do anything while I was at work because I kind of have to be at home on like a good Wi-Fi to have things upload. I can't just do it off
Yeah.
anywhere and it just won't work. And it's up. It's only been up for I don't know, an hour or two. And Chuck, thank you. He's the only one who's commented on it so far. But it's up. So I got one up. But I've been doing a video for every day for it's coming up on a year. And I'm like, I'm not missing a day. I'm going to keep my streak going. But son of a bitch, it just wouldn't upload. I was getting so pissed off. Like, what the hell's going on? My fans, my public need me.
That's true. They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I'm sure like I'm the only one who noticed that, oh, he didn't put up anything. Oh well, no big deal.
I bet you're not. I can tell you right now, people who I subscribe to, who I watch on a regular basis, I know if they didn't get something up on time.
Yeah. Wiley J Draw says, do y'all think about proportions as you draw figures, or is it second nature by now? I mean, if you're drawing human figures, you got to be thinking about proportion at every stage because I mean, obviously some people are gonna have a more natural inclination, but
Um, I suck at proportions, so I always have to think about it. And even though I think about it, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So
and then he adds, computers have been glitchy all over the country the last few days. Yeah, I heard about that. Like, they talk about like solar flares from the sun and goofing up electronics or something like that. Which is all right. That's all right. That's fair.
really,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I heard something like that on the news.
that's interesting.
I've heard him predicting like there's going to be a giant solar flare that's going to knock out all social media, and I'm kind of like, you know what? Bring it on. Shut it down for a week. Make people go outside.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I haven't heard anything like that. Trying to find something here.
Mark says he totally noticed I didn't have a video up. All right. I feel validated. You complete me, Mark. You complete me. Misty says you guys are so good at art, ignore the haters. That's good advice for kind of anything. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to find some of the original. Like Shira images.
Like
There's
from the cartoon?
Yeah, because I'm trying to do, because I'm doing this like more modern day version of her, you know. Oh, here we go. This will work. But I'm like, this is not exactly what I was thinking.
Chuck's like, I was here yesterday at 5:05 going, what the hell? Right? Rob, you've been doing this for a year. We expect this now.
Told you.
You know, right?
You let Chuck down.
I know. I let everyone down. It's my existence.
Oh my gosh.
Right, damn, Rob.
Now we're back to the heavy stuff.
Yeah, right.
Not just me, folks.
We're just gonna stop tuning. I'm like, oh god, these guys. These clowns.
Oops.
Hiccup.
All right there.
Yeah, I did try to put up a post, or I mean, not try, I did. Just kind of letting everybody know, like, hey, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell's going on, but this thing is just not working. So bear with me while we have technical difficulties.
Group draw like group therapy, Mark says. Exactly.
Right? We're here. We're here to heal. Let the healing begin. Who else has problems we should discuss? Bare your soul.
Exactly.
People are like, fuck that. I ain't gonna tell you my.
People like having somebody to talk to. I actually, in my family, I'm the therapist. So I don't really have somebody to go to as my sister a little bit, I guess, but you know.
You've been my therapist more than once.
Aw.
Because you can just discern even from like a message. You're like, Rob, something's off. You're not normal you. What's wrong?
That's true.
Often you're exactly right. There's been once or twice I'm like, I'm fine. It's just, I don't know. But you're like, nope, you don't sound like normal you. Something's wrong. What are you crying over today?
I don't know. You know, sometimes I just
Frog Love says, I love your drawings.
I'm not sure if he means both of us or just you, but I'll just say thanks anyways. Frog love.
Mr. Green says he hopes he is not the only one that worked on the theme this week.
Okay, so I was saying, I think I sent a message in there. I don't know if you saw or not, Mr. Green. I have an idea and I wanted to do it, but and you guys heard some of my drama. It's just been kind of a crazy week. And every time I went to sit down and do it, we had something come up. I ended up babysitting like 6 kids today. It was a whole thing. So I haven't been able to actually lay it out. And I wanted to have that done, the layout done, so I could do the fun stuff on the live, like the details and all that. But I really have to focus on the anatomy and stuff, doing that many people in that many different poses for the movie idea. So I'm going to try to just work on it for fun this weekend when I don't have as much going on. And then I'll post it in the group. But I just felt like I didn't really have any like, and I can't be on here more than an hour because I'm going getting my stepdaughter. So I thought, well, I can work on this. This will be a little bit easier than trying to do the other. That's why I'm not doing it. That seemed like a really long explanation.
It was.
I know.
No. Okay. Let me tell you what I'm excited for next Friday is the sequel to Dune. I already got my tickets.
The Doom.
Dune?
Oh,
Dune?
Dune. I thought you said Doom. I was like, Doom?
Oh, I was like,
Oh, yeah. I kind of
like my
forgot that was
favorite
coming out.
of my most favorite film in the last couple of years. It was just everything I wanted in a science fiction movie, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for them to make the next one. Please don't let the world end before I get to see the next chapter of that movie.
Yeah, that one was really good. That's actually my oldest daughter, that's her favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't even know it was the next one was out yet. I knew it was coming out. I just hadn't thought about it.
Yeah. I'm just so disillusioned with the Marvel movies and anything Star Wars, and there's so much just crap, and this one's just so I don't know. It's just so different, and it's just amazing. I just love it. I'm absolutely like hardcore a fan of this new version of it. So very excited.
Good.
I'm so excited. Like that's my weekend to have my kids. So I'm gonna have to hit up their mom and be like, I have something to do after work. So I need to delay getting the kids. I'm not
Are
gonna.
you sorry?
I am
Are you
dead.
seeing it with anyone?
The roommate's coming with me.
Nice.
She had never heard of it before, but then I made her like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see this movie." And she's like, "All right, I got nothing else to do." So we went, and then she's like, "That was really good. I've never even heard of this." I'm like, "I know, it's so great, right?" Wiley J says, "I haven't been to the theater since Cocaine Bear, and I walked out of that one."
I haven't seen that one. Although I actually heard good reviews from some people about it.
What I heard is that it had very little of the premise that gets you in the seats anyway. I hear Cocaine Bear. I just want nonstop ridiculousness, and I heard that there wasn't quite that much in there like you would want. We're
Mm,
bothered.
guess that makes sense.
Someone
I
someone saying that
haven't.
Rebel Moon was a disappointment. Yeah, I heard that was terrible.
I was supposed to go see Argyle, and I didn't.
What's that about? I've heard of it, but I can't remember what it's.
Another thing that I bailed on this week.
Just.
I know. I know. I know. I'm the worst. Um, so it is. Um, it's like a spy movie, I guess. But I think the premise is that a writer who writes the spy movies somehow, or the spy books, the stories about the spy somehow gets
Oh,
placed into the story.
right.
I think that's what it is. It wasn't really my decision to go see it. Somebody else wanted to see it, and I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah, I'll go." Her last pick was really good, so she was like, "I heard it's actually supposed to be really good." Now she's just gonna go on a date and see it because I bailed. So
I watched this. Any of you guys out there in the chat, um, listen to the or watch the videos of pitch meetings from that guy who does those like funny comedic breakdowns of movies and stuff. I'll have to send a couple of those to you, Jess. I think you'll think this guy's so entertaining. But
okay,
I haven't seen the show, but I watched his breakdown of it. And sometimes it's a bad idea because he does the funniest like breakdowns of these things, and kind of makes you go, "Oh, yeah, I don't think I need to see it."
really,
Yeah, it's hard to explain. He plays two roles. This one guy, he plays the role of the guy who wrote the script, and then he also plays the role of the guy who is like the movie studio rep. So it's scriptwriter guy and producer guy. And so it always starts out with producer guy going, "Say, so do you have a movie for me?" And the other guy says, "Yes, sir, I do. I thought this time we'd make a movie about something and so and so and so and so." And it's so goddamn funny. And the guy breaks it down in the funniest ways that makes you go, "Oh yeah, that's really stupid." Um, yeah, he plays all the roles. It's so great. Once I discovered it, I went down a rabbit hole and watched like 30 of them in a night, and it's just it's so good. So I'll have to hit you up with the link to like what's one or two of your favorite movies?
Mine?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to ruin my favorite movies with this?
Yes, 100%. I want to make your day worse.
Okay, I would say one of my favorite movies, don't laugh, is Crazy Rich Asians.
Okay, now how about movies that aren't obscure and no one's heard of?
Don't people have heard of Crazy Rich
I've
Asians? It
I've
was super popular.
Wow, don't get defensive. I don't actually think he's done that one. So go
Okay, let me think here. Let me think. Ah, like not obscure movies. I feel on the spot because I really like Secret Window. Um, I don't know. I'll have to send you some.
All right. How about just some, movies that are the big movies, but maybe not necessarily your most favorite on the planet? Like, do you like Pirates of the Caribbean or do you like,
Yes, I like Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, I like all the original Star Wars movies. I like pretty much. I like most sci-fi films. I like some of the early Marvel movies, Spider-Man.
yeah, I'll
I
hit
like a
you.
lot of the 80s movies, like The Breakfast Club. That's not obscure.
No, no. All right. I'll hit you up with a couple links. I think you'll, when you have an opportunity, which I know is hard sometimes to sit down and like just listen to them and have a good chuckle. But once you start, like if you're sitting there like you're just doing anything where you get the time, you have the time to like sit down and just do whatever the hell, like you know, your dishes or something. You said like you used to tell me you'd be like doing dishes in the morning or something like that, and you turn on my videos to listen. Like
Yeah, I did
when
do
you have
that.
a free moment like that to just sit down and listen to this guy, it's so funny.
All right, I'll listen to them tonight.
Muffin Man, Monkey Man. He's in the house, and we are happy to have him once again.
Awesome, awesome. Draw Batman surfing AA. Probably not right now, but maybe sometime.
Maybe. Yeah, someone's saying it's more. He's got a smart. He's like Rob, just give her the main page and let her go find her own damn shit. Just let her search it, which
Did
is
he say
actually
that?
exactly the best way to do it. I'm like,
I feel on the spot about the movies. Like, for whatever reason, I can't think. I'm like, "Ah, think of something that you like to watch all the time," and I just can't think of anything.
yeah. Well, you'll get to see. It's. I mean, it's one of those things where you'll either get it, or like you'll find it entertaining, or you'll be like, all right, this is stupid. But you'll know pretty quickly, you know, whether you like my thing or not.
Okay.
But I'll watch anything he puts up on that channel, even if it's like that movie Argyle you were talking about. I had never even heard of it, but I watched the his little review of it. I'm like, all right, that's pretty damn funny.
I'll have to check it out for sure. For sure. Oh, so you're inking that page, huh?
Yeah,
Cool, cool.
I gotta try and keep my skills a little sharp.
Guess that's fair. Someone saying says right, but that's just it, Jess. When you're on the channel, you'll be able to spot movies that stand out to you specifically, and then you can watch it and enjoy his humor in the best setting. True.
See, this is why we keep someone sane around. He keeps us all sane.
Exactly. It's the perfect name for him.
Someone named LOL says, I like you guys.
Awesome, LOL. I like you too.
We love you.
Muffin Man, Monkey Man says, thoughts on getting married in 2 weeks. Is that what you're doing?
Don't do it, bro. It's a death sentence. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Wiley J. Draw says, don't do it.
I mean, I guess it depends on the situation.
Like, do
You
you
know,
love this person? Then go for
did
it.
you just decide to get married in 2 weeks today?
Like, did you meet somebody at the club last night and you're like, we should get married? I would, in that case, suggest Chuck.
Chuck. Sorry for your loss.
Oh my God. Genuine Comics says, hello, Rob and Jessica. Greetings, chat, he says.
Greetings to you.
So, Muffin Man, if you're really thinking about it, I mean, I'm all for it. I support that. I may not be married anymore, but it was the best thing I ever did.
Oh, Robert.
It's true. It only hurts because it was good.
That's fair. That's a good point.
If you're getting divorced and it doesn't matter, there's nothing there in the first place.
That is a very, very good piece of advice. I really hate drawing hands.
Chuck, yes, I did. He's asking if I used a photo for this baby in the crib on this page he's inking. Yeah, I couldn't come up with that on my own. I couldn't Rob Liefeld it. I mean, I could make it look like a fat man, like make him look like Wilson Fisk from Spider-Man, but just tiny.
Oh my gosh.
I hope I did well. I hope it translates well over there, Mr. Chuck. Mark Domowitz saying, geez, dropping the deep thoughts.
It's been kind of deep this time, huh?
Yeah, we got into some deep shit here, huh?
That's what she said.
Bump.
And now we're back. God, I freaking hate hands.
Chuck says, no, it looks good. I shrunk the ear down a little. All right. I have that. I do have a track record of like, I'll draw a thing that looks okay, but then I get this one thing that's like way out of proportion. It's like, can't you see this? Rob, pay attention. Good Lord. Which is fair.
At least it's only one thing.
I was probably like, oh my God, I got this. I got to draw a freaking baby. I think it was the first time I've ever had to do it. I'm like, oh Jesus, I gotta not screw this up. And so I was like, all right, little for photo reference goes a long way. Kind of looks all right. All right, off we go. On to the next.
You know who's I haven't drawn many babies, but I did a couple times, and someone's who I did was someone we knew, and I actually thought it turned out really well, and she loved it.
Well, there you go.
It was a coworker of ours, and you recently saw her when her youngest son, I believe it'd be her youngest, was a baby.
Why are you being so obscure? Who are we talking about here?
I didn't know it's Brenda.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have guessed her, but I'm like, who did I recently see? That was a little while ago, but yeah,
It felt recent to me, I guess.
it's recent-ish.
Recent
Chuck
enough.
tweaked a couple things like that. Like, of course, that's why I'm struggling doing these just straight penciling things. Is that I'm so used to correcting things when I start inking it, and it's not a good way to go about it. And so it's especially rough when I hand it off to anyone, which it's not like I ever have. But I'm like, oh, I gotta you know, I gotta go for precision, or I leave it to somebody else to fix all my fuck ups. That should be the name of my art channel. Fix my fuck ups.
Some of your haters would love that.
um, Mr. Green says, "Did you watch Dave Finch art critiques live stream?" I haven't. I never have. I haven't had a chance. Well, I mean, I haven't gone back to watch his stuff. He's really good, and when I've watched some of his stuff, he's such a good artist, and he seems to be like such a considerate guy. But I haven't watched those. Chuck says, "Damn, Rob, quite a group shot you got going on there." Yeah, this is one of those things where all the characters are done off screwing around, literally or figuratively, and I'm getting the group back together, so it's 8 characters, all the main heroes together. So I'm like, I gotta draw all these damn people, and it's like it's when you start realizing like those artists that draw like group books, like draw X-Men's or Avengers and stuff, and have to draw tons of characters. You start going, man, I get the. I'm not that anything I'm doing is any damn comparison, but like you kind of start understanding on a little bit level of like, okay, I got to draw page after page of 10 or 15 people. Oh my god, this gets complicated.
Yeah.
And you start appreciating those guys who are really good at it. You're like, all right, they are really good. But I got to gather the heroes. This is like their final gathering before they head off to the big climactic violent ending. Jessica knows.
I know. I know.
So excited to draw.
Hmm.
I'm so excited to draw so many of these parts coming up. Like I said, there's so many exciting things. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Chuck says George Perez, who was one of the best artists ever and great. Like he was kind of when I hear George Perez, I think of his Avengers run. That's what I think of. He said George Perez did his first run on Avengers because no one wanted to take the book. That's interesting. If that's the reason he kind of picked it up because it was available because no one else wanted to, probably because it's the Avengers. It's a team book full of people. Oh, and then he just says back then there were no royalties for sales. You just had a tougher book to draw for the same crap rate as a single character. That's interesting. It's like you could draw a book with 10,000 characters or just one, but you get the same page rate as the guy who draws Spider-Man. That would be frustrating. Because eventually they moved into like he's saying royalties where if the book sells at a certain level you get to like partake in. I don't know. I think it'd be not inaccurate to refer to it as like success sharing. Like if the book is successful you get more money, so it's incentive to make it good.
Oh yeah.
you know you're like, if I push this book high up in sales it financially benefits me.
Yep.
Wow. Hey, John says, imagining drawing Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, that's. Madcap says, do you guys publish any comics? I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by publish. I am working on a fan comic, so it is available, but it's a fan work, so it's not like I can sell it or anything like that. But I can get it into a person's hands, and then I have future plans to do things that I actually own. Muffin Man says, "What is the pen or pencil or I don't fucking know called? What are you talking about, dude?"
I
Uh,
don't fucking know called.
Chuck says, "Back at Wildstorm, I was supposed to get 3% for every copy sold over 50K. If I recall correctly, Marvel and DC probably don't match that now." Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Muffin Man, this is a Micron. I have Microns and I have these Faber Castell Pit pens. I like the Pit pens, but they're only. I swear to God, it seems to me like they're only good when you first open them up and they're nice and juicy and the ink flows really really well. But it seems like they don't dry up. It's just the ink stops flowing as well. So you have to like coax it out of it. It just doesn't flow as freely. And the Microns are fine. I can't say there's any negative. Like I like the Pit pens better than the Microns, but for some reason I do like the Pit pens better than the Microns. But I only like the Pit one when I first open it up in the first day or two, and then it just dies, and it just pisses me off. Uh, Madcap says that's cool. Yeah, I meant like self-publishing. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's just I'm doing a Masters of the Universe fan comic. It's book 6. I've been working on it for a long time. This is the last book. My big story will be done and over. Vector Overlay says, "Is there a comic artist that her comic covers? Wait, what? Her comic covers way outnumber any other artist in your collection?" Um, if you're asking if there's a comic artist where their covers, like if I buy comics just for covers, I do not. I know some people are mad crazy about that. They're like, I'm gonna collect this book because so and so did the cover. I absolutely will not do that, no matter how much I like them, because I'm not gonna pay money for a comic I don't like just because I like the cover art. I want I could find the image online anymore and just have a copy of it that way, but I won't buy a comic just because an artist I love did the cover. Chuck says, "I'll have to teach you how to refill the Pit pens and get them flowing again." Yes. Word. You'll need some Ultra Draw or Universal Repeatograph ink and some ammonia-based window cleaner. All right, now it's a science project, which I'm on board with.
See, but still, I'm good with that.
Because it's crazy. Like, Chuck, these stupid Pit pens, like I said, it'll keep flowing for a long time, but it's just not. I don't know what other word to use. I heard Richard Friend once refer to them as being juicy, and I'm like, yes, exactly. They're juicy when you first open them up, but it's just never the same. And sometimes I'm just not in the mood to fart around with the dip pen. I'm like, I don't have it in me tonight to fuck around with the Hunt 102 or something like that. So, Muffin Man says, "I must know, what are you drawing, girl with pencil?"
I
Hey,
am girl with
girl
pencil.
with pencil, what are you drawing?
I am drawing a kind of modern day Shira. It's for my pinup that I'm gonna send Rob. And she's in a clear raincoat in the rain. And so I mean, it's got a lot of work to do, but this is the idea behind it.
Chuck said, pull the end cap off and use an eyedropper to drop some ink into the sponge cylinder inside, just a drop or two. That makes sense. I'll have to. Be nice to make these pens just like keep refilling them.
Right. Well, I probably have to head out.
Gotta go.
Yeah, I know it's really short. But yeah, when we planned this, I forgot that it was our week to have my daughter. So gotta go get her from her mom's and it's not close. So
Oh, how far do you have to drive?
about 40 minutes.
Yeah. How old is she now?
She will be 13 in a couple months.
Oh. I'm like, how long until she can start driving? Then you just got to buy her a car.
And she's about to move further. Right? It's something else.
Oh.
And not to complain again, but her mom will never meet us halfway. So
Wow. That's really?
yes.
God.
I know you know her, so I'm not gonna sit and bitch too much, but
right. I forgot. I completely forgot. But yeah, you're right. I do know who that is. I totally forgot.
She will not. She sometimes will drop her off if she's gonna be out this way, but we have to go get her every time, so it's an ordeal. But it's fine. It is what it is. It's part of it.
Yeah. Well, have fun. Thanks for being able to stop in for a minute. I'll
Thank
keep.
you. That's looking good so far.
Drawing a bunch of people standing around.
Yeah.
Character moments.
Hey, it looks great. I love it. There you go, Mark. $10 from Mark.
What
This
the
button
hell?
still work? Oops, it does.
Mark, I'd kiss you if it wasn't awkward and weird
And he was close by.
and he was close by. There's so many obstructions to this. He's like, you know what? Send it back. Give it back. No, thanks,
Yeah.
Mark. That's amazing, man.
Thanks, Mark. That's awesome.
Split this with Jessica. Coffee for both. There we go. All
Dude,
right.
coffee sounds awesome right now, actually. I know it's really late for coffee, but is it ever too late for coffee? I don't think so.
That's what I hear.
All right. Well, I love you guys. Have fun for the rest of the night and see you tomorrow night, actually.
Yeah. Kind of same late night one tomorrow.
That works for me.
Cool. I'll be here.
I do. Well, I don't know unless you're out partying.
I know, right? Maybe something will come up and
Bye, Chuck. Oh, Mark. Bummer. Our romance will never be. Never say never. Don't know. All right. Bye, guys.
See you, Jess. Wiley J, you're like black coffee over ice, my addiction. I never got into coffee. That was never my thing. I love the smell of it. It's very nostalgic. Remember when I'd visit my grandparents during the summer, they'd always have coffee just automatically brewing in the morning, and it was just kind of like, oh, it's like a pleasant smell. But then I would try it. God, it tastes like ass. Not that I know what ass tastes like. But yeah, Chuck, I'm gonna have to write that down. It's gonna get lost in the stream. I'll never remember that. I don't know. Maybe if you get a chance to like type that up next time you message me or something like that, I'll have to give that a shot to try and keep these see if how these pens can keep flowing. Um, I'll give that a shot for sure. Yeah, Whitney. She left. She had enough of your shit. Yeah, Mark, that's my roommate. She literally just walked in the door from one job and she's going to get right back up and go work her second job because she's a crazy person after being out late with the us last night and working her other job all day yesterday. I don't know how she does it. She likes to spend money. That's what it is. She'll flat out say it. She's like, I gotta have two jobs. I like to spend money. I'm like, all right. As long as you pay your rent, I don't give a fuck. She says facts. I'm glad she's got a sense of humor. She keep like, hey Rob, why don't you shut the fuck up? She's like, actually, you know what? I like to spend money too, but I don't want to work two jobs. So I just budget within my existence. And I actually do fine. I'm never like broke and out of money before the next payday. I'm like, how am I gonna exist? I can budget and I can handle my financials, but hey, Muffin Man says, "Got to go. Bye bye, Rob, aka the artist that I just can't reach their skill level." Well, thank you. I mean, I appreciate it. It's just practice, but glad you joined up. There's a D man, if ever there was a man with the name of D. I don't know what the hell that means. Wiley says, I've started to spend $5 a week on dollar back issues. Reminds me of the good old days. You know, I wish I could find a shop in my local area that has old comics for honestly what they're like worth. I've got this regular comic shop that I go to, and then there's this like hobby or this like pop culture shop in the local mall. And they got this massive bin of back issues of all kinds of ancient stuff. And they've got everything in there for like cover price or more. And I was telling them at the register, I'm like, this shit in these bins aren't worth more than 50 cents, a quarter to stuff, maybe a buck. You guys got it way overpriced and it's sitting here not moving. And I just think the owners of the place don't know what they have, and they think that oh, these are comics, these are worth money. So we're going to tag each one 2.99 each for a, you know, an obscure comic from the '90s that no one's ever heard of. I'm like, you guys are stupid. Do you want to move some of this shit? Because I'm always looking for like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've still got tons of comics to go through, but I'm always looking for different stuff. Which is why Wiley, again, thank you for sending um, that box of comics to give me a little bit more variety. Um, but damn, yeah. Chuck says my back issue collection has exploded over the last decade because I don't bother with the new ones. You right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had people ask me, "What comics do you read these days?" I'm like, I don't read anything except, I mean, I have Savage Dragon on my pull list at my comic shop because I've been collecting it since day one, and But even the comic shop keeps fucking that up. I went in there to get the recent issue, and like, yeah, it's not in here. I don't have it. I'm like, well, it came out 2 weeks ago. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, why do I come here? Like, you guys go fuck yourself. I keep trying to talk myself and just drop in the dragon. I get a little enjoyment out of it, but it's not like it used to. Chuck, mostly the myth. Wiley, you say the shop you go to is actually an antique store, but they have a good variety of unique comics from the 80s and 90s. So that sounds like a great thing, especially if they got them like appropriately priced. Um, Chuck, you say you're reading a lot of stuff that was published before you were born, the Warren magazines in particular. That sounds fun. Yeah, Chuck, you say you haven't bought Dragon since they changed it to a sun and all that. Yeah, I mean, when I think of the Savage Dragon, it's the original version. I actually appreciate what Eric Larson does in terms of keeping it moving in relatively real time. So, the original version of the dragon, he got old and he died. Not old like an old man, but he kind of had him age up, but he died and moved the story on to be, the story's carried by his son. And I like his son as a character, but it's just not the same. Ever since the dragon crushed that little alien space baby's head and did an alternate universe thing around issue 75, um, it was never the same. But I also kind of just like I want to support Eric Larson because I respect that he's doing his book since day one. He makes it difficult because he likes to post a lot of political stuff on his Facebook page, and I am 100% the exact opposite of him politically. And it makes it hard for me to like not just like, dude, shut up, but you just try to leave it out and support the artist. And I know he doesn't get much circulation with this book, and I still find it kind of entertaining, but I don't know. Mark says, I'm obsessed with the Warren magazines, a treasure trove of pen and ink masterpieces. All right, I'm gonna have to look into these guys. You got me interested. I mean, I'm aware of it, but I don't know enough about it to be able to say, oh yeah, this, that, the other. Chuck says Eric Larson. I can't. He's not a commie. He's just hyper liberal. Um, and I've seen him get into like big like comic debates with others, and I've always kind of sided with them in terms of how to make comics and what constitutes good and bad. And I don't know, but I like him as a cartoonist and a creator. But I just following him on his social media just makes me go. It's making me want to drop his title, and I should separate that. I shouldn't care what the man personally thinks, as opposed to just enjoying his art. But he makes it difficult sometimes. Right, D man? Right? But yeah, your guys' conversation about those Warren, um, I'm gonna have to look it up because I really like to see old school traditional like pen and ink stuff like you guys are talking about. Yeah, Chuck, I'm gonna look that up. Again, it's one of those things I've heard of, but I never just, I don't know, just never looked into it. But no time like the present, right? Present, right? Mark says there are anthology books. You get a bunch of artists each issue, usually at least one or two standout pieces per book per issue. That's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah. Check out Paul Galassi at Warren Rob. He did a 3-part horror storyline. The art is amazing. You guys have convinced me. D Man says Fantastic Four is cast, and I give zero fucks. Oh, I just hope they don't screw it up again. But Marvel's track record recently doesn't leave me with much confidence. I think they need to treat the new Fantastic Four like just 100% start over of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just pretend everything else doesn't exist. Don't connect it to anything. I think they said they're setting it in the '60s, which is perfect. Make it like a period piece. Make it fun. Take it seriously. Have Galactus be a giant purple monster for God's sakes. Although I don't know that they need to put him in the first movie. Mark says I was turned on to Savage Sword of Conan by the kayfabe coverage of George Zaffino. He did one Conan story and it was so cool, really energetic. Chuck says Zaffino's son is awesome too. See, I don't know who these names are. The guy that played Captain Kirk in Star Trek Continues would have been a good read. I didn't watch the Star Trek Continues. I struggle. I love Star Trek, but I struggle with the fan made stuff. Even though I heard that stuff is really good. D-Man, there's a comic book right there, man. Like, we can't make a movie, but we can make the Fantastic Foe. You write it, we'll draw it. Fantastic Foe. Oh, really, Chuck? Really? That's interesting. I think I tried watching some of it one time. I don't know. I'm aware of it, but I don't know. Sometimes these fan made ones are. I've seen a lot of terrible fan made things. I'm like, oh my god, you guys. I never given that one a fair shake, so that's on me. Except Spock. So it's a continuation of the original series, right? Is that what like you only went 3 seasons, so it's supposed to be like year 4 and 5 of the 5-year mission. Is that correct? Chuck says the dude that plays Kirk has the body language and hand gestures down pat without looking like a parody. That's interesting. All right. Yeah, D man, I don't do any of the new Trek really. The last good Star Trek thing was the season 3 of Picard. Everything else sucked. Wiley says, yes, it is totally authentic to the original. Awesome. Chuck says they built the set using original blueprints from the show. That's awesome. Do they like crowdfund or take donations to kind of fund it? Because that would have to be a bit of an investment personally to make it. And I know Paramount is up everyone's ass with their fan stuff. They're like, "You gonna ruin our brand." Maybe crowdfunding. That'd be interesting. I'm sure if they just set up like, "Hey, if you want to donate to the cause," those Star Trek fans are a generous bunch. If you make it, they will come. That's what she said. The Kirk actor got me too'd. Somebody accused him of some nonsense with flimsy evidence. Is that what you mean? Wiley says, of course he did. Frosty Man says hello. What up, Frosty? My day was spent mostly at work, wishing I was at home, either taking a nap or drawing. And I, so far, have gotten to do both. So you got to get through the suck of the day job to do the stuff you like to do. Yeah, Chuck, I would agree with you on that. No, Vector Overlay. I work at Home Depot as the day job. This last December, I passed 18 years working there. I can't believe that that amount of time has passed, but it's been a good job. But it does suck the soul out of you. But it could be worse. It could be like Walmart sucking the soul out of me. All right, Rumi. Yeah, I can barely believe I've been there 18 years myself. It's kind of unbelievable. I'm like, ugh, shoot me. I remember when I was been there like 12 years and I was talking to my wife at the time and it's like, I don't get another year of vacation until I hit 15 years. And I told her, if I'm still at Home Depot in 15 years total, I want you to shoot me. She's like, okay. But now we're divorced and she can't. So, haha, joke's on her. The bitch. Just kidding. Yeah, Wiley, thank God you found a job you don't hate going to. I don't hate my job. I'm being a little dramatic. It's just, you know, wish it could be something a little more interesting or satisfying, or I just wish I could be independently wealthy so I could be a prepper and get a nice bunker and prepare myself for the impending end of the world. Chuck, careful, Rob. Empty says hello. Hey, how's it going, Empty? Vector Overlay says prepare for Civil War. That movie looks intense. I can't decide if that movie looks interesting or it's just stoking people's frustrations in a way that doesn't help. I don't know. We'll see. Wiley says, I need more ammo and my prepping is in a comfortable place. Same. Well, as far as the ammo part. Frosty Man says, honestly, I love your art, but I can never compete at your level. You're really good. Well, thank you. It's very, very kind of you. I mean, I try, and I don't know. I try my best, and you know, I like what I like most about the channel is when people say that they've kind of been inspired to get drawing again, or pick up comics again, or get creative again. And I've had a couple people say that, having watched some of the stuff that I've put up on the channel, and so that's inspiring to me because I'm all about um, promoting, like, get creative, draw, create, write something. Why not, right? Make a thing. Doesn't matter how good you are or not, make a thing. If you make a thing, even if you're not technically good, quote unquote, whatever that may be, but if you still make it, you're several steps ahead of a lot of people. D man, you can't wait to be independently wealthy and buy some land in the South. Illinois has shit land. All right, Chuck, too much dinner, man. You think you're going to go watch some TV? Catch you later. Thank you, man. Thanks for stopping in as always. I got to do dinner for myself here in a little bit. Why do you say you had antibiotics stored in case of something and your dad threw it away thinking it was old vitamins? Oh, damn. Oh, man. I would be pissed. D man, you want to have your kicks before the whole shit house goes up in flames, Jim Morrison. Oh, shit hits the fan. Right, Wiley. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I should have pieced that together. Me brain no work good. But yeah, D man, no kidding. That is because that might be sooner than people think. Shit hits the fan. I like that. I like that little shortening of it. Yeah, Wiley. I just think the country's just going to tear itself apart. We'll all be lucky if we survive. D man, that would suck, especially if you got electric cars, right? Good point. Never even thought of it in context like that. This whole decade needs a restart button. Yeah, D-Man, I don't know. I think the problems go back deeper than that, starting at a longer, farther back. It's got to be reset at the source, and I don't know how everything got so messed up. I think people have had so much excess for so long, comparatively speaking. I don't know. I should get into it. I don't want there to be any political anything on the channel. It's all about art and fun here. Drawing 8 damn characters on a single image is a pain in the ass. I know I went through this earlier, but good lord. Like, it's fun when it's working. I'm not saying it is working. Maybe it is. I don't know. God damn, is this tedious. But if it was easy, everyone would do it. I don't know if that sounded really egotistical on my part. Wiley J says, I would probably have to draw the figures independent, then light box them onto the panel. I mean, that's honestly kind of what I did. I do draw everything separately first, and I try to get the basic proportions correct here first, even though those were very rough. But then I light box them and get them onto here. So I kind of do that. Yeah. D-Man, everyone was talking about the backgrounds on that Merritt Michaels. Yeah, that Blindside comic where I'm like, I swear these have got to be fake. They're too precise. They're too good. And Chuck was pretty adamant up front at first about there's nothing that existed in 96 that could do that. But then someone else pointed out that there was something, but those backgrounds were just, it was too good. I know people can draw that way, but I don't know. It definitely sparked conversation. Frosty Man says, I had to leave your stream so I could check out your YouTube channel. Holy crap, you're a good artist. I'm kind of new to your YouTube channel. Well, thank you, Frosty Man. Yeah, I just rant on about comics there. Some I love, some I am indifferent about, some I straight up can't stand. And seems like the ones I can't stand get the most interest. People tend to like to hear me rant about them. And then other people get on there and like, you're a hater. What have you ever done? You're a loser. I'm like, I know. I'm a loser. Wiley says, I'm glad you could make Blindside part of your life. Yeah, I mean, that was honestly, I mean, once I saw it, it sparked a memory of like, oh, yeah, I remember seeing some of this somewhere, but I'd never seen the book itself. So getting to actually experience it, I felt like the guy really tried. And it was a worthy try. Still wasn't very good, but, he's making comics and I'm not. So, you know. What do I know? D-Man says, I got to say, Marat actually tried to draw backgrounds. Liefeld doesn't even try. Yeah. Yeah. Frosty says, you're not a loser, man. Well, thanks, man. I mean, I'm a little self-depreciating. Um, it is an interesting experience having a channel where you put your opinions out there and then you can get a lot of feedback and people can start shitting on you for what you just said. And you're like, damn, I didn't think people would take it so seriously. But I'm learning to roll with the punches. I'm kind of indifferent about that Ripaverse. I mean, I appreciated what they were doing, what they're creating, but then I saw the book and I'm like, oh, well, all I care about is the work, and the work is kind of, you know, artistically not very interesting to me. And EVS, I appreciate his art. Definitely a hell of an artist. But Frosty, man, thank you. I appreciate you checking the stuff out. I really do. Um, it's humbling anytime anyone watches my stuff and sees my artwork, and so I appreciate it. Joe Sontag is a good crowdfund artist without the BS. It's not one I've heard of. I'll have to check that out. The crowdfunding crowd, like the people who make their comics on Kickstarter and stuff, I respect what they do, but so many of them are just like a lot of these successful ones I end up seeing are like sex books, and the art is not actually that very good. Kind of disappointed. If you're gonna make me pay $30 for a sex book, it better look good. Not that I ever done that. All right, I did support one recently, and then I got the digital rewards, and it was not impressed. The cover was fantastic. The guts of it were kind of not very good. I don't know. Maybe I'll think differently when I actually get the physical book. Sontag is the best of '90s art. Very Silvestri influence. Well, you said the magic word, brother. You say Silvestri, you got me. You got me a little excited. Frosty Man says he's 12 and did not need to know that. Welcome to the adult conversation. Eric July bragging because he's got Chuck Dixon. I don't have any problem with Chuck Dixon. I just don't know that I've ever read anything that he's done that I actually gave a shit about. And maybe that's the problem. Sorry, you guys have to suffer through my boring ass. I know it's less interesting when Jessica's not here. She's very much like, Rob, they're there for you. I'm not. I'm like, nah. I mean, maybe a little bit, but she makes it much more interesting. D-Man, I've never even heard of those ones. Soska Sisters. Mr. Green says, I think you're just burned out on the superhero stuff. It's been oversaturated for a decade, probably even longer than that. I don't know, but superhero stuff doesn't exactly interest me, but the right creative team would definitely get me to pick up anything. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I still think of the X-Men back in their heyday when they were really good. I'm like, that's great superhero shit. I wish there was something that kept my interest like that anymore. Well, Frosty Man, thank you. You see, you're not really boring, or else I wouldn't be here. There's also good people in the chat. There's several, D-Man here, and there's someone saying there's Mark, there's Mr. Green, a lot of the regulars. And everyone helps keep the chat interesting. I'm surrounded by good people. That's the thing I like most about the channel is just ran into a lot of good creative people, interesting, friendly, interesting dudes, and a couple girls. There's a few women around. Where are the ladies at? All right, Vector Overlay. Thanks for stopping in. Hope to catch you on another one. Yeah, me and Jess will be doing another one tomorrow, Saturday. It's Mountain Time, but we do it late. We do 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. And you get interesting because that's when there's a lot of interesting folks out there perusing YouTube live streams, and we get some interesting conversations sometimes. Frosty Man, you say every once in a while the stream pauses, so you have to leave and rejoin. I don't know. Sometimes that's a connectivity issue. I don't know. Sometimes it comes up with multiple people, and I'll have to restart. But I wait until I hear multiple people say that there's problems. But Dan Goodwin, another. Sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to forget you too. God, I knew I'd forget somebody. I'm like, I got to remember all the regulars, all the people who've been supportive and awesome. And I'm like, oh, right, Dan. God, I suck. Foot traffic, though. Yeah. Those Saturday night live streams get crazy views, though, man. Like there's over 2,000 views in that 2-hour stream me and Jessica did. That was insane. Because just a month or two before, if I got 200 or 300 views on the stream, that was normal. And suddenly it jumped up to 2,000. It's unbelievable. I don't get it. Mr. Green, gonna jet soon too. If I wait for you to finish this page, it'll be another 2 hours. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to finish this. I'm just kind of working on this panel. Yeah, I can't finish this thing like this. Dan, it's way past your bedtime on Saturdays. I know. I get it. It was mostly about finding a time where Jessica's little baby would be asleep and she could be free to kind of do what she wants because she likes to do these a little bit like we've talked about. It's like art therapy for her, and she chose the time. So I'm like, all right. But yeah, it is a rough time for a lot of them. I know. D-Man Saturday night is when the trolls come out. Kinda. Mr. Green, keep at it, looking good. Well, thank you, Mr. Green. We'll all catch up in the Discord later, I'm sure. I'm not even sure who that one is either, D-Man. I don't follow that Ripa stuff too close, actually, at all. I'd be happy if I had a fraction of their success. A couple $1,000,000. I'll take that. I should just go do a Kickstarter. I'm sure that amount of money will just show up, right? Just randomly? Of course it will. Just kidding. I know I'm not that stupid. Joseph Castillo says he's back. Guess who's back? Back again. See how well the ink is flowing out of this. What the fuck is this thing called again? The Pentel pen, right? I haven't been doing nearly as much inking now that Chuck got on board. So I got to do some pages. I got to keep my skills sharp as they can be. Chase and the Wheeled Warriors, you want to see him try and reboot that? I have only a vague recollection of what that is, man. But do we want to see them reboot anything? Because it seems like all they do is ruin it. They ruin the fun. Dan, you say the proof of your next issue was just shipped from the printer, so you're getting that one copy that you get to look at to make sure it looks good before you commit to printing. I'm curious, Dan. Like if you print multiple copies, is that what you do? How many do you get at one time? I go through that comic Wellsprings, and I just do a 25 issue minimum. I just do in 25 issue batches, and that seems to be good enough for a stretch because it's not like I move a lot of things. I don't like I move a lot of books. You get 100 copies. That's awesome. There's been times I kind of wish I would have done that because I've got 5 books and I'll get low on one and have a bunch of another. I was like, I just need an even amount. But yeah, I just do 25 at a time. D-Man says, this is what I like about Rob's channel. Just creators putting out good work and not bragging and starting shit. I like that idea. I like there to be people that just like to draw and share their work, and that's the fun stuff with Dan and Mark and someone saying, you D-Man, I see you posting up your stuff. Like, it's fun, just like, let's just create stuff and entertain each other. Maybe mutually make some friends and share each other's work and kind of networks and get other people's eyes on the comics, except for Bashing Liefeld. Correct. That never gets old. It does get old for some people, but the majority of people seem to enjoy it. I was watching another video on a YouTube reviewer guy, that Crypto Comics guy, and he was reviewing Youngblood Bloodsport, which was written by Mark Millar, and I've seen some of the pages in it, but it's where like all the Youngblood characters, a bunch of them are in like a hot tub talking about very adult nonsense. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get my hands on a copy of that ridiculous book. That's so stupid. I got to get my hands on a copy so I can make fun of that nonsense. Because like Liefeld trying to do like adult content, it's almost too laughable to be believed. Guys, I might close this one down for now. I might actually just randomly get back on. I got to do a couple things. I got to get dinner and stuff like that. But do a couple things around the house, but I might get back here to my drawing table tonight. And I might just get on live just randomly, just cause. Just we'll see. Why not? But I might need to take a break from this one. Been here for 2 hours. Frosty, man, I'm gonna head to bed. You guys have fun here. It's just not my bedtime. I'm just tired. Well, thanks for joining up, Frosty, man. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Hit, we usually do these Thursdays and Saturdays. Yeah. But thanks everybody, all youth guys. You're all awesome. Bunch of good folks, all of you. All right.